welcome to the Trap House Podcast. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe on all social media platforms. And now a quick word about our sponsors. We have Duke Traps with us. Check out duketraps.com. They manufacture over 40 different models of cage traps, coil and long springs, and body gripping style traps, as well as one of my personal favorites, the powder-coated dog proofs. Check out duketraps.com. Need a place to sell your fur? Check out Groenwald Fur and Wool Company. Over 50 years in the fur business, the largest and most experienced direct receiver of wild fur in the world. Check out their website, gfwco.com. Top Lot Stretcher Company. They have all the fur processing tools you need to get the job done in the fur shed. From push pins to wooden stretchers, they got you covered. Check out toplotstretcherco.com. J3 Outdoors. They make American trapping products designed for maximum trapline efficiency with products like the Hags Bracket and Spring Clip, as well as the Universal Lock and Beaver Rod ends. Get the tools you need to get the job done. Find out more at j3o.com. And there's only one true way to start out the day on the trapline, and that's with a hot cup of coffee from Trapline Coffee. They have great tasting blends to choose from, as well as chocolates. Head over to traplinecoffee.com for more. And we'd like to welcome the newest sponsor to the team, No BS Lures. Don't let the name fool you. There's more than just bait and lure. This company offers trapline tools and hardware, fur handling supplies, and the No BS traps. Check out nobslures.com. And last but not least, Hoosier Trapper Supply, home of the Top Dog Predator Bait, Jet Fuel Predator Lure. We offer a complete line of trapping baits and lures, deer scent, trapline tools and hardware, fur processing tools, and special package offers. Head over to HoosierTrapperSupply.com.
Okay, before we get started on the actual podcast portion of this, I just want to give a little context to mountain lion trapping. So on this episode, we'll talk about that. The mountain lions have been trapped for years as a predator control animal, and in fact, there's a book. It may still be available. It's probably out of print, but on lion trapping by Wiley Carroll, I believe. This was, sold through trapping supply companies for a number of years. Anyways, mountain lions are not fur bearers, so technically they're not a sought-after fur item, but they're always have been an animal that's fit under the control work, particularly on cattle ranches and that kind of thing. So, anyways, I just want to kind of give a little bit of context to what we're doing in regard to that. Obviously, Justin, Jake, and I have tried to catch mountain lion on again, off again, depending where we're at, for several years. No luck on our own, or no luck that we've had yet. But anyways, I just want to give a little context to that, and I also want to mention that we did the podcast kind of on the last evening of the last. We were leaving the following morning home, so I think everybody's a little bit worn down. We did it fairly late in the evening too, so. Anyways, just want to give a little context to what we're going to talk about in the podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Trap House Podcast. We're still in Texas, just finished up a nice trapping trip with our friends Ben and John. Ben's been on the show before. You should go check that podcast out. It was about a year ago. Kind of got his background story, where he's from. He does taxidermy, how he got involved in the outdoors, his whole lifestyle. And John, this is really your first time on the podcast, and we did a little bit of filming with you this year on the line.
Couple minutes. No, I've been here for 5 years now with Ben as his guest, trapper helper, and learned quite a bit from Hoosier Trapper, you, Charlie, Jake. Give my thanks to Ben. It's given me a much different education and appreciation towards trapping. If it wasn't for him, inviting y'all up here, of course, never would have met you. And like I said, given the opportunity on some small pieces of property that we lease, been able to take advantage of that, gain confidence in the property owners, and if I have anything to say at all, is if anybody's interested in starting trapping, I think I'm still a novice, my son and I both, but with a little bit of knowledge like y'all might be hearing or seeing from us now, encouragement from others, and just suppliers like Who's Your Trapper, you guys. I mean, it's all possible, and we've had a great experience with it. Keeps getting better.
That's awesome.
From there, y'all can expunge on.
We're still trying to figure out what Charlie's secret sauce is.
Yeah.
I'll give one more kick to Charlie. Predator gravy. We've used that super successfully, and had to kind of twist Ben's arm on it maybe a little bit this trip. But after a catch, rather than going back with just straight coyote urine,
Oh man, I'm
I
sorry.
tried to force him into it. A little predator gravy on a remake, and I think it's worked really well.
It works.
The Hill Country Foxes, we've knocked them out. Totally knocked them out of the park here the last few months. So, but thank y'all very much.
We
No,
caught,
thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
we caught quite a few coyotes on it on this trip.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about on this episode. Really is recapping our time here for this season. We'll dive in a little bit onto why our numbers might be down a little bit more this year than the past 4 for us. They've been here 5 seasons trapping, and we're definitely going to be talking a little bit about Ben's big mountain lion catch. And when I say big, it's not only is it a big accomplishment, it's a freaking big cat. It's huge. So we'll get into that too. But yeah, why do you think our numbers are down a little bit this year? I think it's weather. The vegetation's high, so I think there's more places for prey and things like that to hide out. We've seen more birds than the past 4 years. A lot of quail, roadrunners, a lot more tracks in the sand of like kangaroo rats and all that we've talked about.
Lot more. In the Midwest, they call them turtle doves. They're actually called mourning doves, but lots of those.
Lots
Yeah.
of rabbits.
Yeah,
Lots of rabbits.
Yeah.
There's food everywhere. There's just
Yeah.
food everywhere. And normally, coming into winter, you start to have some die offs. You start to have some game congregate in the remaining food sources, and of course the predators know where that's at, and they start to congregate on top of the surviving game. None of that's happening this year. I mean, there's food everywhere, and everything's really scattered, and therefore the predators are really scattered. Now at the same time, when you have all that coming into when we show up, and then we get here and we still have these abnormally warm days. I don't consider that good for trapping, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no, today was 76 degrees or something. So.
Yeah, we've had mild weather pretty much the entire time we've been here, and what was that? Yesterday was high winds, so I imagine a lot of things just kind of got lazy and laid around and got out of the
Very high
wind blast.
winds. It was rattling the windows around here.
But I'm not. Hey man, we're trappers. We're not going to make excuses. We're going to go out there and we're going to trap.
Yeah, it's
So-
not. I
But
mean,
the
I don't think it's an excuse. I'm
realistic
just trying to
conditions,
figure out
Exactly.
why.
But we are telling the truth about what's going on here and what has gone on in the past year.
Yeah,
And to quantify this a little bit, we said what, roughly 40% down?
On the
something
on
like
our
that.
coyotes.
Just on the
Yeah.
coyotes. Everything else was about the same.
Today was actually kind of a little bit of a surprise between the two of us. 4 coyotes and 1 big bobcat.
Yeah, you guys
Almost didn't
cat.
expect that with
Yeah.
the conditions. It's not an excuse. It's just that's the facts.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you factor in everything else, like we've mentioned too, there's pretty much year-round work on coyotes in this area. When you're on a ranch like this, and you're always protecting the cattle, so either they're hired in, or cowboys might be driving by, and they might be able to take a minute, do a little predator hunting or calling, or if they see one, they might be able to get a shot.
Yeah,
So-
there's greyhounds and helicopters.
It's like trying to hold back the ocean, though. I mean,
There's a lot. Yeah.
they
Well-
just keep coming.
yeah, and something this big. Well, it's it's hard to.
Yeah.
Even if they flew it, they can probably only
successfully fly sections of it. They can't fly the whole.
Sure. And
Yeah.
during the day, most of them are probably holed in. You know, they're in dens. They're not out running the roads in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
We don't see that typically driving around. We might bump a few, but most of the activities probably at night.
Yep.
Or
So-
when you do see them, it's like first thing in the morning when you get out there, or right when sun's
Yeah.
going down, when they're starting to become more active.
Correct. Yep. 100%. It's just like any other kind of hunting.
Interestingly enough, too, just how everything's gone and the amount of game that's there, and I haven't really said anything about it. The amount of birds of prey, falcons and hawks that we've seen, and owls that are out here killing stuff. I mean, they're everywhere, because there's
Yeah.
food everywhere. And I mean, you can stop pretty much anywhere and just start watching, and you'll see multiple hawks or falcons hunting birds and rodents. And we're watching them make kills. I mean, it's really kind of wild.
We had some exceptional viewings a couple of days ago, just with two buggies, one up a couple hundred yards in front of the other, flushed some quail. Quail are everywhere. Coveys are 20, 30 birds or more at the very least. And then from out of nowhere, here comes, I don't know my falcons or birds of prey very well, but 200 miles an hour, it's a puff of feathers, and it's gone. They got a quail, they got a dove, something that we flushed.
Yeah.
It's
They're probably just
Incredible.
following you guys around from the aerial. Like,
I don't know about
kick
that,
up
but
something.
we had actually, you know what, that might be true. Honestly, Justin.
I was doing a reset, and it sounded like a jet went over my head. And I looked up, and I just caught the view of a falcon. And I mean, he had his wings all closed up and everything, just going like a missile. And he disappeared in some mesquites, and I don't know what he killed. He killed something.
But today, 2 or 3 times, we had a bird that was running parallel to us,
Yep.
like waiting for us to flush quail. I mean, seriously, heart attack.
Harris
He matched
Hawk.
our speed. He was at the same distance from us and was just waiting. And that happened like 3 times today.
And they all look really big and healthy.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
terribly
the
healthy.
hawks are crazy.
Living
big.
good.
Yeah.
And we missed part of that conversation earlier. The coyotes, the ones that we trapped, except for a couple of today, biggest, nicest coyotes we've seen
Yeah, they're
in 5
gophers.
years that I can remember. Great hair. I mean, huge bodies. The last 2 today were blah.
Those were the scroungiest ones we've got.
Yeah, but for the most part, holy cow. Super healthy animals.
Living right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that all
Yeah.
goes back to what we were talking about earlier, the weather, lack of winter, a lot of rain, lots of varmints.
And on that rain note, man, everything's grown up compared to last year.
Yep.
I bet you some of those wild sunflowers and some of those draws well over 10 feet tall.
Yeah, they're packed in there
Mhm.
Yeah.
with lots of cover.
I bet they look really pretty when they're full bloom.
Yeah, it had
I
to
bet it'd be
beautiful
cool to
last
ride
summer.
through there.
Yeah.
But one thing we did on this trip that was a little different that we've talked about, I think, past couple trips, is we actually finally swapped a day. John went with Charlie and Jake, and I went with Ben. That was just yesterday, and so he took me in a part of the country I haven't seen yet on the ranch, and I'm pretty sure John's pretty much seen most of this ranch already anyway.
No, not near, no.
No?
We
Okay.
trapped totally different when Ben and I first started here. We stayed in low pasture areas where y'all have gotten to much higher elevations, different canyons and draws. So, no, it's quite a bit different, honestly. I learned a lot from Charlie and Jake yesterday,
Yeah.
just traveling around, and I'm sure you did with Ben as well.
Yeah, I'd say in total we're pretty similar on the way we're trapping.
I think very similar.
So
Road intersections, I mean, obvious
Setting on
cuts
sign.
and draws.
all that
Or
stuff.
sign, and some of the areas you all set, there was no sign, and you caught well.
Yeah.
And that happens to us too. Happened with the mountain lion. There was no sign there. There was a sign there 2 years ago, but no recent sign.
Yeah, nothing new.
Nope.
Last year was, I think the first year. Was it the first year that we actually saw or found at Mountain Lion Track.
I think so.
There might have been a year
No, it was
before
last
that.
year. I remember it. It was
Yeah.
still
Last year for sure, and we even found
still in
droppings
Olcott? Or up near Rita.
west.
Yeah, up in some rural rough country.
But
but very close to where y'all found.
same area
Sets.
again. We
Yeah.
saw tracks again. There's 2 sets of them. One was much larger than the other, so we're thinking male, female. And out of the years you've been here, Ben, you've probably found tracks almost every year.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll find tracks. I come up here and archery hunt deer and antelope, and I'll find tracks then sometimes. It's rare that I make a trip up here that I don't find lion tracks or sign. Back when I first started coming here, I would maybe cut one set of tracks a year. Now, if I'm looking for lion, I can usually find tracks pretty much anytime I come out here. If I'm looking for them.
and you had said out of your years coming here, how often is a mountain lion either captured or hunted or even seen? Like,
I'd say every 2 to 3 years they'll kill one on the place. But seen, man, that's
you gotta
I mean,
take that with a grain of salt.
I-
Depends who's telling you who.
that's what I was going to get to. I got some folks seeing some Sasquatch around here too. But, they're great folks, but people have some wild imaginations at times. If I tell you if I see a lion or I see lion sign, that I see it. But other people, it's a little tough. Now, if I get 2 of them together, all right, 2 people that saw a lion at the same time, I'll consider that's more realistic. That's
Yeah,
more than likely that actually
keep each
happened.
other accountable.
Yep.
So just talking tracks, not a physical lion sighting. Last year was kind of an exceptional year. I think we got on 4 different tracks that were anywhere from
Excuse me.
bless you, 1 day old to several weeks old.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? I
Yes.
mean, that's 4 different tracks in very different parts of this country.
Yep.
And that was the most we've ever seen in 1 2-week visit to this property.
It is possible that 2 of the males that we found tracks on last year were different males, but I think it is more likely that was the same male, just about 7 miles apart from each other.
So this still would have been 3 different cats at the
Correct.
very least.
I think at the very least it was 4. There's a slim possibility it was 5,
Okay.
but I think more than likely it was 4.
And just to say it again, some of them were very old.
Yes.
Some of them were literally. We got on them 12 hours after they stepped the road.
Yes.
Yep.
So this year, we found fresh tracks. There seemed to be fresh tracks, so we set a lion trap. You guys found tracks. You guys set up a handful of lion sets. And what was that? 2 years ago, you actually pinched one.
3 years.
Or yeah, 3 years ago, and then it ran off with the drag quite a bit. Got a little bit of struggle and got free. Must have just had it by a toe or whatever the situation is. But this year you nailed him. You want to explain kind of what the scenario was? I went and you kind of walked me through it, but yeah, just kind of
There's
describe that.
There's a canyon that 2 years ago John actually found a lion track in, and we set then for that line. That line was 2 years ago when that track was made. It looked like they'd had a big snow melt, and that track was made whenever that big snow melt was, and we were a couple weeks off of that snow melt. So we thought that there was, I thought we had a good chance of catching him again there. We did not. We actually did, in fact, catch a really large, very nice bobcat out of our line set there. This canyon, when you go into it and you have to climb down into it, it's cat heaven. That's all there is
Yeah.
to it. When you get down in there, you realize, man, this is every cat would want to be here. And so last year we set that canyon again, even though we did not find a lion track. We found several bobcat tracks in there, but did not find that lion track in there. We went in and kind of set it again. It just looked too good. And then
And we did not catch it.
we
Even
didn't
a bobcat
catch.
in
Yeah,
there
we didn't
last
catch
year.
anything.
Even though there was a sign that we did not catch a cat in there.
Yep. And then this year, we decided to set it again. And this year, again, we didn't see. I did see some bobcat sign when I went down in there, but I didn't see a lion. Saw some raccoon sign in there too, but no lion sign. But set it for lion. I will say this: the tracking, just the way the moisture cycle's been, and the condition of the dirt, it's a lot of places we're in. It's very possible that a cat could travel in there, and I wouldn't pick up his track. So I'm not saying there was a track in there or not, but I didn't find a track. But we went ahead and set it. And we just set a single trap in there. We have a specific spot that we tend to set there. It's between two trees, and I don't know how to explain it, man. It just, you get that feeling that something's right.
Yeah. Well, you taking me along yesterday. I mean, even not finding a track, if it didn't scream mountain lion walking through there at some point, then I don't know what else would on the property. Well, there's a couple spots that look really nice, but it made total sense. And like we've talked about, the vegetation was pretty high, and there's a lot of grass in there,
Yes.
and it was pretty thick. But yeah, this was caught in an OBS. So
Yes.
shout out to Kendall. Thank you, buddy, for sponsoring this podcast. And you make a good trap.
Good line trap.
Good line trap. It's advertised as a wolf trap, but it works for both.
I got no wolves here, man.
So how many check days in, and then you caught the line?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. That would have been, was it fourth?
5.
Fifth day.
Because
5
Roy had
days.
been here for a couple of days.
Yep.
Our guest trapper Roy.
Yep.
Okay. And
Which- Yeah, made a pretty crazy experience for both Ben and I and Roy.
so what was the first thing? What was the tip when you went to check it? Like, all right, something happened.
Holy
Like, did you see
cow.
the
Well, Ben
trap,
went
or
down
did you see the
first, but
cat? What?
No,
No, I climbed down, and you're going down in some rocks, and the last little set of rocks, I can see the alley that I've made between two trees, and there's a third tree that is away from my pinch point.
but to
and-
describe the trees, they're like 4 inches in diameter. They're like young cottonwoods, maybe.
I think
don't
they
know
may
what they
be
are.
sugar berries. I could be wrong. I don't
Cottonwood
think they're
sugarberries, but they're about 4 inches in diameter. The trap was in between two,
Yep.
a third off to one side, but two of the three of them were completely like denuded up more than we could reach. The branches are gone, the barks are gone, deep claw
holes.
marks where we had the anchor set.
Yeah, that's like right.
For a cat,
Got
I have
jumps
to
out of there
admit
like
that we've
nothing.
probably, or I was responsible for setting the anchor, like pre-setting the anchor or the drag, and that didn't even slow it down. But maybe for a couple of seconds for him to destroy those trees.
I think he, from what I saw, it looked like he grabbed that tree and muscled
Oh.
his way out of there.
Oh,
he just pulled it right
100%.
out.
And just that that first look is just like, holy cow, this is extremely intimidating. And to see where the anchor was, the drag, everything, it's like, we maybe, and I think Ben and I came to this conclusion, we underestimated the size of the drag that we should probably be using on those sets.
I would agree with that.
We've come up with some different ideas. Being a fabricator, that we need to triple the size if we're going to. And that's not a joke.
More wings.
No, yeah.
And I'll let Ben elaborate on the story, how it all ended. But, and maybe it was for the better because we ended up successful. But don't know what would have happened had he been actually anchored to that exact spot versus him getting 100 yards down the canyon and just gassing out, basically. I mean, he was tired.
Yeah.
You know,
Running through all that, getting caught up
Yeah.
here and there, and then breaking free.
it might have been a good thing that he made it as far as he did and was just completely spent.
Yeah.
We
Because
don't know what he went through exactly to get from point A to point B.
if he would have been
But it was a
solid
blessing
hang
for
up-
us, I guarantee, because it was. I will not lie. It's very scary. It was my second experience with Ben. We've trapped a lion. The first one we talked about a little bit earlier, several years ago, where we got just maybe a couple of toes, and you have no idea. You think that cat can be hiding behind a tumbleweed and be on you, especially when it's on a drag. You don't know where he's at. You don't know how well he's hung up. It's extremely scary. I will tell you the two scariest points that I've ever had in my life were with those two cats, and the one we got the other day. That I'll let Ben elaborate, but that was.
Yeah, you can feel the blood was rushing on that.
It's intense.
I can't explain it.
Yeah.
It's
close.
scary. It's very scary.
So you
That was a monster cat.
So you basically armed yourself just in case.
We did.
And then worked the canyon down slowly.
Yep.
We kind of stayed. We didn't want to get too far ahead of each other. We're basically straight across from each other on each side of the canyon.
Parallel, but at two different levels.
And as you head north, that canyon starts to get wider and wider and wider. And you start to get into fewer trees, less brush, fewer things he can hang up on, more grass,
A lot more grass.
and very tall grass that's thick, and it just
And the color of
If-
the grass is like
Oh,
the
yeah.
color of the cat.
exactly
It was like,
he can just disappear.
The people that I talked to the last couple of days, just sharing our experience with friends and family, had been not seen him at some point, maybe 80 yards from where the trap was at, give or take. You came up on a higher cow trail, I was down low, and you said, "I've got him, I got him, I got him." Or I see him, I
I saw
forget
him
what.
take like 2 big hops.
But you saw his tail and the drag, the chain, going into that little bit of a dry cut.
I didn't know that there was a dry creek bed there.
It's totally-
I could see all
it's
the
totally
grass that he
overgrown.
disappeared into.
But Ben physically saw him, and then watching the grass movement, and then all of a sudden the grass stopped. So he had to have stopped, obviously. And we started working from different angles, different sides of this little draw. And I think that little wet weather creek, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
It's just wherever the water drains out of that little box canyon. It's only like 2 foot by 2 foot. I mean, very small. And that cat got in there, and had Ben not seen him, you could have walked 10 feet either side of him. We'd never seen him.
yeah.
And he did not make a sound, not a growl, no aggression.
Just,
That was the most intimidating part of this whole deal was
you didn't know where it was 100%.
no, Ben had a good idea. It's like, I think he stopped. And we worked for, I don't know how many minutes, 10,
Yeah, we
15
spent a-
minutes.
We spent a lot of time Nobody wanted to go in that grass.
No.
Okay. Nobody
And
wanted-
I think you asked me at one point, go over here and look, and I'm like,
no, we were trying to move into
I won't use
different
profanity,
spots.
but I told him no.
We were trying to move into different high points to see in it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we could spot him,
And he was so buried.
and couldn't.
He was
see
so
him.
buried. That's the scariest part of it. He never made a sound.
And finally, it's like, oh man, I gotta go in that grass.
It was terrifying. I'm not joking.
So anyone listening to, when Ben took me back to the location that they're describing where this all took place, I filmed the wall cam to the area where the trap was, the tree damage, and he walked me down the trail and where this all took place. So, but the problem is you're gonna have to wait till next season, season 15 of Hoosier Trapper Outdoors before you can see any of that footage. But it's remarkable.
Unfortunately, it was not filmed when you guys actually.
Yeah, I was.
There's no way
Of course, that would
logistically
make
to
a
do
huge difference. But
Yeah.
the description, if you've ever read anything, about hunting leopards in Africa, I think this is pretty much the same thing. I've never been to Africa, but that was the scariest. I mean, from the time we discovered the trap was gone to where we found him, That was
I think the most intense
scary
moment for
and
me
intimidating.
when I
No joke.
don't. There was one moment I'm in the grass and I realized that little dry creek bed was in the grass there too. And I could see up in the dry creek bed, I don't know, 20 feet, 25 feet, something like that. It's hard for me to
I think that's
estimate
an
the distance.
exaggeration.
But I can see up in that dry creek bed, and I can see the drag laying in the dry creek bed,
Not hung up on
and
anything,
it's
just laying.
and there's a straight chain coming straight off of it,
Tumbleweeds and grass.
and there's a handful of grass stuck in it. So he's not hung on anything, and for a split second, you realize you're in there, and you feel better if you could see it stuck in something,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
but it's not.
So
And not just that, I knew that I could see the drag, and I knew that he was directly between me and the drag. It wasn't like the drag and he's farther away. It's the drag and he's closer, a lot closer.
so we,
And
This is what, 10 foot of chain, 12
there's
foot,
12 foot of chain.
12
on
foot.
there. And I'm just saying he's closer. Can't see him.
So, the one thing I can say I'm proud of is, given the situation, the way we had it covered. There was 3 of us. We had a guest friend of ours, Roy, that was on a higher elevation above us with a rifle.
On the rim of the canyon.
Ben had a rifle, and I had a 12 gauge shotgun. And so we did talk about this extensively as we were coming up onto where we thought he was. And of course, we don't want to shoot at each other,
Right. Talked about.
but the potential
Angles
was
and
there
all
for
that.
that thing. Like I said, it's every bit as real as watching a video on YouTube in Africa and a leopard jumps out of the scrub and he's just right on you that quick. And so I think, I said, we talked about it, and it's like, don't any one of us get in a line of fire, but you have to be able to react very quick compared to what that animal
Yeah.
did. And he was every bit as dangerous, if not more dangerous than, like I said, those leopard videos out of Africa. He had us dead to rights. He wasn't hung up.
So you eventually
Ben made the shot.
peeked over the side a little bit and got a clear shot, and
No, I leaned over and I could see a portion of the cat, but I didn't have a shot. And he was, I would say, maybe 10 feet. I don't know.
I would say, honestly, 10 at the most.
He might have been 10 feet. and
Okay.
I didn't have a shot. And I actually tried to direct John to come around the other. He was still above, and I was hoping he could see it
From
and
his angle.
From his angle, and maybe make a shot. And he moved around. There was a tree up on that ledge, and he moved around that. And he told me he couldn't see it. And at that point, I realized I've got to jump that dry creek bed to get a shot. I'm not athletic. If anybody's ever met me in person, I'm not athletic. And I realized for me to do that, I'm going to have to take my eyes off the weapon and the cap, which having the weapon pointed in that direction was the only thing making me feel okay at that time.
Well, I had his back too.
Yeah, there's
The cat might have got a bite in, maybe two, but I'd say Ben.
So, I mean, I finally had to make the jump. I jumped to the other side of the little creek draw. That makes it sound like it was some 8-foot jump. It's not. It's less width than the chair you're sitting in there.
No, it was
Yeah.
very small. That's what the
It's very-
scariest part of it.
It's very small, very tight.
But he was holed up in there tight.
Yeah.
Like,
And I jumped, and as soon as my feet planted on the other side, I had clear view of some vitals, and I popped him once, and he kind of rolled his head to the side like he was almost like he was biting at where he'd been shot, and I could see his neck pretty clear there, and I shot him in the neck.
And that was it.
but
That's
no
awesome.
joke, that's the most intimidating situation. But
Yeah. Can I
that's
imagine?
number one. But number two was several years ago on that other one.
Same thing. You just didn't know.
I think you got to see when we went and checked that other lion track when you went with me. We go in, and I can tell my trap is there's these yellow pads we put to keep dirt from getting under the pan, and they're kicked out on the ground. And the minute you see those things kicked out on the ground, everything gets way more serious. I mean,
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's like when you see the yellow, it's like the caution color, like caution sign, like something happened here. Let's see what's going on.
And
we
when
got-
Ben says yellow pads, it's fiberglass insulation you get from Home Depot.
Yep.
Just to let y'all know.
Yep. Don't give up all our secrets, dude.
Well, I mean, it's not that big of a secret. it's wax paper versus yellow insulation.
Oh man, that's great.
They got secret sauce. We got secret yellow pads, man. Come on.
Yeah, well,
So
This cat was exceptionally big.
Yes, I didn't know. I had no idea a lion could get this size in this state.
So he was officially weighed
Yes,
at 155.3 pounds.
yes.
and unofficially, I had a friend look it up, and that's the third biggest cat killed in the state of Texas.
Oh,
But I didn't know. I don't know if that's baloney or not.
I have no idea.
I put that off to a friend of mine who loves AI and research, and he's like, "That's one of the heaviest cats, the third heaviest cat killed in the Panhandle."
yeah,
Looks of this cat, that sounds very reasonable.
It's holy cow! I can't imagine bigger.
So we'd like to catch one too, and we only had one trap, so you guys definitely had more of an effort towards
Lion,
catching
yeah.
one than we did. But one thing I never even thought about was like, okay, so now you got a 155-pound animal, and you got to get him out of there, and there's really nothing to hold on to. I mean, there's no antlers or.
It's the true dead weight meaning.
We had some ideas.
One the most insane idea was I'll put him on my shoulders and I'll walk up out of here.
Yeah,
Hey, when your
told Ben-
adrenaline's going after something like that, you
I
might
told
be able to
Ben
do
he's
it.
a superhero, and Roy and I were only half superheroes, but that's probably not going to work.
Yeah, I couldn't believe you even got him picked up for the photo.
That's the last cat I think I ever picked up.
I would have done it, but he wouldn't let me. Doesn't matter. Mr. Roy came up with the idea.
Brilliant.
I've got a 6x8 green tarp, blue tarp, like you get at Home Depot for $8 in my buggy, and we can put them on that, and it'd probably slide over the rock, gravel,
Yeah.
everything we had to drag them through.
Basically, a
And
sled.
fortunately, we were able to get the buggies to them within probably about 60 yards, 80 yards.
Yeah, something like that.
But it was pretty much straight uphill.
Well, that's a pretty good ways. still.
No, we took some breaks. we took a few, but it worked out good. We got the cat on the tarp. Ben and I were on each front corner, and Mr. Roy was on the backside to keep him from slipping out. And it did take us a little while, but that wasn't too bad.
And I was really thankful that we were able to get it out in one piece, because there's some research going on with Texas Parks and Wildlife, and they were going to get to come out and collect a lot of data and samples off of it if I got it out in one piece. That was good.
No, and from a taxidermy standpoint, I mean, this is I want to say that I'm part of this experience with just not with everybody here, but with Ben and I.
Sure.
So I'm blowing it up, to my friends and family and people that appreciate and understand what we do. This is the pinnacle of trapping. Even though it's our first one, I want to say professional trappers now. That might be a stretch, but this has been honestly for Ben and I 5 years worth of work
Exactly.
to make this catch, and I don't think I could ever exceed it, especially on my own, without him, Ben, or you guys supporting and all the different scents, lures, traps, everything that we try to compile together and use together, information we share together. This is a pinnacle. I'm sure from me, I will never go past what we accomplished.
Yeah.
I'd like to think
Unless the
maybe
wolves show up
maybe
here
next year. No, well, a wolf's a different thing. But maybe next year, if I'm trapping with Ben and y'all again, there's a potential to catch another lion there. Odds are, even if we do get one, it will not be that big.
Oh yeah, I'd be
You know what I mean?
shocked.
It might be 80 pounds,
Sure,
which is still
exceptional.
Very
That's
nice.
fine. I'll take it. So yeah,
I lost my train of thought with that a little bit, but getting back to this is 5 years worth of work and setting in a certain area speculation wise and have it pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't explain the moment. I
Every
can't
trapper
explain-
out there, this is on their bucket list.
Yeah.
If they like trapping, this is something they would
Right.
love to do or
I
experience.
just wanted to catch a mink. I've never caught a mink. I want to catch a mink.
Hey, we all have different lists to check off here.
So to back up a little bit, in the state of Texas, mountain lions are not considered a game animal.
Nope.
So you can trap them. You can keep them if you trap them. You can trap them in July if you want to, year round.
Yep.
There's no restrictive season on them.
Nope.
Most states are considered a game animal. You have to, and trapping is typically not allowed in most states on lions. So this is kind of pretty unique circumstances here. So,
And it was interesting kind of how word gets around. Even though we have very liberal legal parameters for how we can handle and harvest lions in this state, it was interesting. The game warden came out the next day, and suddenly he wanted to know all sorts of things about the trapping that's going on and stuff like that. And
we spent half a day with him.
Yeah, we spent half a day.
Wonderful experience.
Not just did we spend half a day with him. After we spent half a day with him, we broke down and he came back out and helped get our buggy out of there. So,
Great dude.
yeah, good
Thank
guy.
you, Stuart, for reaching out to Stuart. But,
So Parks and Wildlife came here afterwards, and what were they doing? What were they taking off? We talked about some samples and
Oh man,
plug the tongue.
they were
everything.
They were trying to get as much data as they could off of it. A lot of the carcass we gave back to them that they can do lots of different things with, but mainly they're going to study what's going on as far as what he's been eating, and a lot of genetic studies that are going on with the lions in the state of Texas. But they were doing what I really found amazing is how detailed they were in their data collection. They were even documenting small notches that this lion has obtained over his lifetime in his ears. It's very common for cats to get little notches in their ears. And I don't know if they're comparing that to maybe they have trail cameras out in certain areas where they're trying to track these lions and they want to see if he had ever come through there or what. But I mean, they were literally documenting. I mean, they measured his feet, they measured his body length, they measured portions of his body.
How his gums were receding from his teeth.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
that was a new one I hadn't heard, but that was interesting.
Very, very detailed stuff.
Yeah. Obviously, you're gonna have to wait to figure out what the stomach contents were, but based off what they could guess, anywhere 4 to 8 years old,
Everything's 6 to 8 years old.
6 to 8 years. Okay,
Yes.
somewhere in that range.
Well, obviously a very large animal, extremely healthy.
Very, very healthy.
If I could give my opinion, I mean his fur, his weight, I mean just his overall body appearance was unbelievable.
Now, you skinned him pretty early in the morning when we all got up and got ready to go check the line the next day. What was he pretty fatty? Did he have a lot of fat on him, or just pretty?
He had shoulders, thighs, back, no fat at all. He had a thin layer of fat running down the center of his stomach, almost like a ridge of it that ran down the center of his stomach. I say his stomach is the actual abdomen area, his abdominal area. But later, after we gave the carcass over to Texas Parks and Wildlife, the biologist told me when they started removing his intestines and his stomach and stuff, they said the interior fat inside him was unbelievable. They said he was extremely fat in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No,
He
I
was-
mean,
he was living
you
right.
you could just look at him, you know, his physical appearance. There again, I mean, that was just, my goodness, his forearms were as big as my thighs. I mean, he's just a huge, very
He's got
muscular,
forearms
very
up there.
healthy cat.
Yeah.
Scary healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
People asked me already, what does that cat eat? And I'm being straight, anything he wants.
Yeah.
There's nothing out here that can stop a predator like that. I mean that. Besides a human being, but if that cat comes after you and you survive, it's by sheer luck.
Yeah.
He kills and eats whatever he wants.
Yeah, if he wants a horse, he just goes.
He
Pick
kills
one
it.
out.
Yeah.
It's not an exaggeration.
There's been some horses that went missing this last year.
And that's one thing that we got to talking about too. Like these calves, we try to protect these calves from coyotes. All right. When the coyotes kill a calf or one of these heifers, we know it. I mean, we find what's going on.
Right.
We see the damage. If a cat like that wants to kill one of these calves, he just picks it up and takes it away, and you never even know it existed.
Right.
Yeah. That's why
It's just gone.
disappears into its little probably safe space where it can have.
Now I'm
Dinner.
not trying to scare everybody and say
No, I mean
that-
that's just pure
that
fact.
lions are
It's
killing tons of cows. I don't know what kind of effect overall the lions are having on cattle populations across the western United States. I don't know, but I guarantee you, a cat like this one, okay, if he wants to eat a calf, he'll go pick up a calf and it's gone. That's simple.
yeah.
It just has to do with what's in front of him and what he wants to eat. That's it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking up some stuff online, and you know, a male cat's home range could be anywhere from 100 to 200 square miles. I mean, it could be. So, how far do you think from where we were set to where you were set, Ben? I can't remember.
He's like,
15,
12, probably around 12 miles.
12 miles or so. So it could have been the same cat that we found tracks on. It may not. It could have been separate. Who knows? But it's definitely easily in the realm of possibilities to make that happen.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah,
Not
either
the
way.
same cat or
Yeah,
or
or
the same
another
cat.
one. Yep.
The other thing I find very interesting about killing a cat like this, there's a lot of people that talk about our our lion populations here being nothing more than transient cats that are passing through from neighboring states, and these are rare things. They're not living here. They don't have stable populations. A cat like this proves that there's a stable population of lions here. Okay, he would not, a cat that's this old, this big, would not be roaming here unless there were females in their specific territories that he's going through and tending and patrolling. It's these cats are here. These are stable populations. They live here.
But I mean, the source for that, who say that, are those opposed to.
Correct.
They're not.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Yeah, it's been a trip.
very cool.
Any last words, guys, before we sign off? Thanks again for having us down. We've all said it even off air here. We've all become pretty good friends through this whole trap line journey. So, and that's that's one thing we've always talked about too. The trapping community overall is pretty good, and when you find that common bond amongst people, you tend to form lifelong friendships. So,
Right.
and I think we got that here. So.
I hope people don't just watch your show. I hope they get inspired by your show, and I hope they go trapping.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we have quite a few people that come up and say, I bought traps and set traps because of watching you guys.
That's
so,
good.
which is pretty cool.
That's good.
So,
I have to admit myself. I mean, so I've been here with Ben for 5 years, but I consider myself a novice. My son and I doing it on our little lease in the hill country of Texas, and my son in Arkansas and Nebraska. Through my initial experience with Ben, and then meeting y'all, and we buy everything from you, and I can't say enough good about it. We've been extremely successful and have a good time, and more time for us to spend in the outdoors doing something different.
Yeah.
Outside of the hunting season, of course we hunt deer, turkeys, doves, whatever, but this is something in Texas especially. God bless Texas. We can do this all year long. And we do. And thank you very much.
yeah, well, I appreciate
Thank you all
it.
very, very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
One last thing though. Ben's a taxidermist, which we've covered in the last episode. Tri-State Taxidermy. You're getting this mounted, right? That's 100% going down.
It'll get mounted.
Okay.
It might be 20 years from now. Because we never get our own work done.
I still have it's actually the second bobcat I ever caught from Arkansas. It's still in the freezer. It's tanned, but it's in the freezer. I never mounted it.
I took a mule deer to a show last year, and I was so tickled. I finally mounted it it was my mule deer, my personal mule deer. And somebody asked me, it's like, how long did it take you to mount your own mule deer? I was like, man, I think I've had that thing for 6 or 7. I think I killed 7 years ago. And I got on my phone, and luckily you can get the details on a photo on your phone. I looked, and it was 11 years. I was like, holy cow.
I mean, that's like the carpenter that's got, all these repairs that need to be done on his home, and he doesn't get them done because he's doing everyone else's, So, but yeah, that just goes with the territory.
But I'm gonna try and do some nice stuff for myself one day.
Cool. All right, everyone. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Adios.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you.